This episode is brought to you by Monkey Nutrition.
Talk to me about haters. I mean, Suli's putting out videos on a regular basis saying things like, well, the American dream, or, you know, I hate school but love education. You know, you get a lot of counterpoints, people that are coming at you saying, you know, wait, university has a purpose. I think you might be heading to the BBC later to talk to people about that. I get hate all the time from London Real. And you said something like, don't totally dismiss your haters.
No. And this is what I love about my haters. You know, and I just believe you can get something out of everything. You know, I think everything teaches. If you're with a 3-month-old, if you pay attention, they're teaching you something. I mean, it's something you can get out of watching this 3-month-old that's not concerned about time. You know what I'm saying? He's not on the etiquette thing. I mean, he's just living free. You know, and so for me, the one thing I love about my haters is they give me a perspective that my mother doesn't give me. My mom loves me so much that I think, you know, there are times where, you know, she may want to correct me and she's like, I don't want to hurt his self-esteem. You know, or my wife, you know, may not say a certain thing because she's like, I'm not 100% sure. I'm not in the field. Maybe I shouldn't say that. But I find that my haters say what's on their mind, you know, and sometimes what they say is real, you know, that there's some adjustments that I need to make, you know. Now, I don't take their hate and allow it to tear me down, but there are things that they say, you know, about me. I'll never forget this one guy who was hating on me was talking about how I had 4 or 5 jobs. You know, he's like, he's doing this and he's doing that, he's doing that. And I thought about it one day and was like, okay, what is he saying? Now, take away that he's not making his dreams become a reality and he's jealous about the fact that I'm fearless, that I'm going out here and I'm trying it. Yeah. But there was some validation in what he was saying, in that if you're doing too much and you don't have a solid focus, you may not be getting the most out of your life. And I was like, you know what, this guy's, he's telling the truth. And so I started to narrow my focus. And I quit my job at Michigan State and started doing free, thank God it's Monday, and I'm traveling across. So the dude was right. You know what I'm saying? There were a couple things that I was doing that was really taking me away from going from good to great. The job was, you know, my wife loved the stability. She loved the 401k, the health plan. You know, I was getting a steady check. You know, my wife loved that, you know. But when I left that job did not allow me to come to London because I can only take off for so many weeks. I only had so much time off. So honestly, nobody else was courageous enough to say, this guy's got 4 or 5 jobs, but this guy, he's doing too much. And I sat down one day and said, you know what, he might be right. You know, and then what I love about my haters as well is that I know they don't want me to succeed. So there are times, honestly, when I'm thinking about sleeping in, I'm like, my haters would love this. Or making an error. I'm on the road and I'm, you know, thinking about maybe doing something I don't have no business doing. And I'm thinking, how would my hater like to see this in the newspaper? They take this and laminate this and put this on the wall. Oh, they put this on the wall. They probably start their own blog and start their own radio show and just talk about, I told you so. I told you he wasn't the father you thought he was, or the husband you thought he was, or I told you he didn't have the integrity that you think that he has. And so those are the 2 ways that I use my haters, you know, to push me, you know, to a place where my loved ones, and trust me, my loved ones have supported me, you know, in ways I can't even imagine. But my haters have given me that extra, that edge, that advantage, that I know that they're always in the backdrop waiting for me to make a mistake. They're waiting for me to fall. They're waiting for me, you know, to come out with a video that doesn't represent, you know, the videos I've done before. They're waiting. And so I'm going to keep them waiting.
Don't miss London Real. Subscribe now. This week on London Real, we have the English rapper, poet, and journalist, Akala.
Hate by the pound surrounds my reflection. I do this for my own protection.
If I didn't go to Pan-African Saturday School, if I didn't grow up in that empire, if I didn't listen to Wu-Tang Forever or read the autobiography of Malcolm X when I was 9, would I be the person I am today? Probably not.
One too many man that could have been doctors end up spending the whole life boxed up.
Hip-hop was my life. It was something I lived. I loved interacting with it. I wrote lyrics every day. I was in battles.
Because to me, all they do is breed conflict.
First time I saw someone get stabbed, I was 12, and it was a little poke. It was a meat cleaver in the back of a guy's head. I had other teachers that felt that a person from my racial, cultural, economic background, and certainly from my socioeconomic background, should not have been top of the class. These were guys who were doing well in the street, but they'd spent so much of their life in and out of prison, etc. But they were like, you don't want to be like us. You know, you're clever. In fact, if you drop out of school, we're going to give you a hiding.
Yeah, they say you are British, and that lovely patriotism they feed you, but in reality you have more in common with immigrants than with your leaders.
If the music is good enough, if the visual is good enough, if your online interaction is decent, you can keep your integrity and have a career.
If we're honest, true strength is the strength to be honest.
Ultimately, any power structure in the world wants to stay powerful.
On Sunday, London Real presents Akala. Knowledge is power.
It's fear, but at 20 you can't admit it's fear.